People call me all the time and they're frustrated with their horse and they're having lots of problems. One of the biggest things that folks have troubles with is their horses get what you would call herd bound or buddy sour or barn sour, let's call it. And basically, it, it's a it's not a complicated subject. It's something that people complicate, and they seems like the more that they get frustrated with it, the worse it gets. And you just got to kind of stop and back up and think about what's happening here. You've got horses that are herd animals, so they feel more confident and safe as a group because they're animals that are preyed upon by predators. So as a group, they feel safer. So if that horse wants to be with other horses, tells us he doesn't want to be with you. He doesn't feel safe with you. So what you have to do is create an environment where that horse feels safe when he's with you, that he doesn't need that other group of horses to protect him or whatever. So just spending time with your horse. And what I'd advise people to do when a horse gets barn sour or buddy sour, just think about what's happening. That horse is saying, I would rather be with that other horse than with you. So here at Windy Hill Farm, how we approach things like this is that we condition that horse's mind before we do his body. And we're not going to do things forcefully, and we're not going to rush him or make him afraid. So you got to take that horse and get him on the end of your horseman rope, get down on the ground with him, and make him feel confident with you. And take him out here and lunge him through the trot pulls and lunge him around the obstacles and work with him like you can watch some of my other videos on just how to work with that horse and build his confidence and make him feel like, if something happens, I'm okay when I'm with my handler. Things will be okay. Because see, really what you're doing is you're preparing him for when something happens and explodes and you've got a catastrophe going on somewhere 3 miles from home. You're preparing his mind to say, I don't have to run from my troubles because if I'm with Ted, I know that things will be okay. He's going to protect me. Or, on the other hand, if he says, I got to get out of here, I'm going to die, I got to run, I got to get with the other horses, if not, I'm going to die. That's what he's thinking, okay? So you got to kind of think what he's thinking. He's afraid. So we have to teach him to manage his fear. So when he's barn sour and we're riding away from the barn and he wants to turn around and come back, well, you got to evaluate why is he doing that. Is he lazy because he doesn't want to go and work? Is he wanting to get back with the other horses? What's happening here? So, what I advise people to do there is if he's barn sour and wants to come back to the barn, well, doggone it, think about why he's doing it. If he wants to get back to come eat at the barn, that's his sanctuary. Well, then feed him on top of the hill, away from the barn. Make him think that's where he gets to eat. Or take him up. I've had horses that didn't like traffic. We're afraid of trucks and cars. So we lead the horse down to the end of the driveway, take our curry comb, and stand there and brush him at the end of the driveway. Relax. And come on up to the house. We're done. 20 minutes. And tomorrow do the same. And make it to where he feels comfortable with what you want to do. And you can't force him into it. I've tried it. I've tried to take him down and tie him beside the road and make him stand there all day with a 5-gallon bucket of water and all that. I guess over time that works out. But what really works the best is to create an environment that is better than where he came from. Here a while back I had a horse that we were working with and kept looking up in the pasture, kept looking at the other horses and wasn't paying attention to what we're doing. And I had a lady here I was working with and I said, well, what do you think we ought to do about that? She said, well, I think we ought to take him on top of the hill there and make it to where he doesn't want to be up there anymore. Make it tough on him up there. No. I said, why don't we do this? Why don't we make it where down here is better than up there? She says, yeah, okay. That's a different way of looking at it, and I think you're probably right. So we did. We made what we're doing down here pleasant. and made it to where we kept that horse busy and occupied and his feet moving and had him thinking and thinking about where he's putting his feet down and thinking about what we're doing and keeping his attention and getting him to focus on us and not worried about what those other horses are doing. And it worked out perfect. But if I'd have took him up on the hill and give him a whooping or made him sweat or get tired so he didn't want to be up there, really didn't want to make him be down here anymore. So that's when I say let the horses teach you. That's what I mean. And it takes a long time, folks, to get that all figured out. I mean, you got to really think about how to kind of outsmart him, because you know what, I hate to tell you, but he is a lot smarter than you are. And he is a lot smarter than I am, really, truly. And you got to do what you can to outsmart him and to make him think that everything's his idea. And if you can get that worked out, you'll have a treasure. You can get something done. Get along good.